let's go through one of my most favorite aha moments. I can't even tell you when I had this, it was just like, oh, I gotta do this. And that is the triangle. So what I will refer to as the triangle is your CA team with your doctor. So for me, we have one doctor and two CAs. So it was very easy to make a triangle. And I would imagine, and in my experience with clinics, it is typically one doctor with two CAs running very efficiently and getting all the things done and becoming very ultimately successful. So the triangle looks like this. And I'll briefly do this and then we'll go over the official one. But here's where the doctor lies. Here's where your clinical CA lies. And then here's where your office CA is. This is important. There is a big difference between a clinical CA and an office CA. The doctor does the doctoring things, but a clinical CA is the one that is in it clinically. So takes the x-rays, is in the exam, understands all of the verbiage, can dictate a recommended care plan, can answer all of the questions. Now, while the office CA should be able to do that, the office CA, that's not their primary job. The clinical CA, that is their primary job. Now, the office CA is the one that takes the phone calls and does the scheduling and the money and all of the billing and can take the x-rays and can be in the exam, but it's not their primary job. So these two do coincide with each other, but there's number one priorities for the clinical CA, and there are number one priorities for the office CA. And then there's also then what happens as an overlap. So what we have here in the middle is what do all three members of this team do? And that is, we are all patient oriented. Everything we do is because of the patients and for the patient's benefit. So that is the number one thing everybody must understand. You're in that clinic to serve patients. The patients pay you for your services, and the higher your value, the higher you get paid. So let's understand that. So everything that you're doing inside of your circle gets you a higher paying job and contributes hugely to the patient. So we are all on a mission to be patient-oriented and patient-centered. Now, we have the office CA with the doctor. So this stuff right here, what happens that both these two people do, okay? And then you've got the doctor with the clinical CA. What do they both do? And then you've got the two CAs. What do they both take care of? So you've got all of these individual things, but you also have these coinciding circles of tasks that get done. So there's meetings between the doctor and the office CA, there's meetings between the doctor and the clinical CA, and then there's meetings between the clinical and the office CA. And everybody coincides and is centric around the patient care. So let me show you our circle, our triangle here, and dun, 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 dun. Here we go. So this is our triangle and it is fantastic. All right, so Dr. Robinson, his two tasks are running an empire and doing the doctoring. It is my ultimate goal to make sure that every doctor just gets to do the doctoring, which is diagnosing and treating patients and educating patients. I think that if you have a team that can support that, that is a really great ultimate goal. And when you achieve it, your possibilities are just endless and your success will be unrivaled. Like, I just love it. So you'll see here, here's our triangle. You've got Kristen here, she's our clinical CA. Here's Amanda, I'm the office CA. And then you'll see our circles around all of this, right? So let's go through doctor and the clinical CA in this situation is Kristen. So here, what do they do together? They do the new patient exams and she runs the chiropractic rooms, which means she takes all of the subjectives and does the percussion massage, thumpering. But here's also her individual tasks. She does the new patient exam, she's in with the exam, charting, she does the posting and emails, and then she takes care of our care plan binder and our new patient folders. And then her and I together. So Amanda, the office CA, and Kristen, the clinical CA. Here's the things that we do together. One of us is always checking emails, voicemails, texts, and answering the phones. We're always all able to schedule. We take patient payments. Both of us do inventory, which happens once a month scheduled. We can both take x-rays. This is a huge component of our success, is that both of us can jump in at any time. And then we are both able to do our decompression tables, and then both of us are understanding of the open and close. So with us, Kristen typically will open and I will typically close. And then here's my circle of things that I get done. I'm the billing expert. I am the person that does all of the things regarding insurance. I take care of all the stats, the financials for the patients. Once an ROF is ready to go, I've got the care plan, I've got the payment plan. I take care of the recall and the re-sign system, and then I do all of the marketing and social media. So then what do Dr. Robinson and I do together? Well, we run the team. I'm the practice manager. I do everything. I'm the first point of contact for all of our team. And then we work on all of our team meetings and team trainings together. What is our goal for the year? What do we want to increase? How are we reaching the patients? What type of activities are we doing? We always do a skate night. We do a parking lot party typically. We bring in Kona Ice and a taco truck. So we're always showing gratitude towards our patients. And then what type of marketing are we doing? We don't pay for any type of marketing outside of, like, bringing in the Kona truck or paying for skate night, but we don't pay a service to try to get new patients to us. We just try to make the patients that we have the most incredible experience so they continue to come in. So if you don't have a setup like this, we need to get you a setup like this. This is so powerful because look at this. Here's what the doctor's in charge of. Here's what clinical CA is in charge of. Here's what the office CA is in charge of. Here's how they overlap, and overlap. But guess what? We're all patient-centered. And that is so important because we're here to treat patients. We are here to make sure that their chiropractic health and care is the best thing for them. And then they will be able to go and contribute to the rest of their lives and figure out from there. It is so incredible. So this is so important to have together. So I have included an empty triangle. Now, if you have a square, so you would have 3 CAs and a doctor, or maybe 2 doctors and a CA, we might need to separate those. But everybody needs to know their role and what is expected of them and what are they in charge of and when does it need to happen. So each one of these, so let's take Kristen's, when does new patient exam happen? When does the charting happen? When does the posting and emails happen? When do you update the binders and folders? Each one of these bullet points has its own masterminding behind it. So here's what we've got next then. You've got this monthly calendar and it's upside down. Here we go. And it's got everything on here. Here's all the things that we do. Here's the things that have to happen daily with week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, because some things don't happen every day or every week. And then here's the things that happen quarterly. Now, this is just my tasks. If I was to add in Kristen's tasks, our clinical CA, it expands a lot more. So you need to be starting to write down, what do you do in a week? What do you do in a month? Which CA is in charge of what? And what does the doctor ultimately want for the whole team? And what overlaps? And what is everybody in charge of? What are you good at? What are you bad at? What is your weakness? Where do we need to increase weaknesses or let go of weaknesses into somebody else that might have a high value on that item? So this is the triangle. It is so powerful because what it does is it refines the bullet point systems of who is in charge of what. And then once we find out who's in charge of what, we can then figure out the systematic approach to making that happen, which will increase your system efficiency, which will increase your office visit awesomeness, which will increase your referrals, which will increase your collections. So let's get after this, figure out who's in charge of what, and make this triangle the thing that's going to take you to the top.